is what God meant. This is my perfect moment with this space and time, the way that I feel for you inside. This is my moment. This is my perfect moment with you. Tell me you love me when you leave. You're more than a shadow. That's what I believe. You take me to places I never thought I'd see. Minute by minute, you're the world to me. I wish I could the look in your eyes, the way that I feel for you inside. This is my moment. This is my perfect moment with you. And if tomorrow brings a lonely day, here and now I know I haven't left in vain.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Candid Moment with me, your girl, Fortunate Esther Abiola. It's another afternoon just to be free and happy with you. You know what? Today we're celebrating Black History Month, and I have some wonderful, glorious, beautiful, trailblazing female founders that I'm going to be speaking to this afternoon. My guests are lined up to join me from 4 p.m., 4:30, 5 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. So today is all about celebrating the trailblazers and wonderful women who are doing great things in Scotland. So, for anything else, let me say, the ladies are here. I have two wonderful women who will be joining me in the studio, so I'm very excited about that. And one of them is already here. I'm trying to get her to come and sit down with me before, but she'll be on very shortly. I am so happy and I'm very blessed that they are all here with me. So let's get the show running. Time to begin Candid Moment with me, Fortunate Esther Abiola.
Ó bàbá pé yóò dára.
lọ síbi gíga àti jẹ́ ènìyàn àti jẹ́ ọlọ́lá àti jẹ́ ológo kò ní nira fún wa. That's the translation. No, that's not. The translation is it will be easy for us, whatever we do, in everything we do. God is going to make life easy for us. I've got my first guest with me, Sister Nikki. Nike Adetoba, I believe. My darling, Nikki O Couture. Nikki O Couture. Good afternoon, sis.
Good afternoon, Sis Fortunate. It's nice to be on the show this afternoon.
He's got the lady of Couture on the line.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be on the show this afternoon.
All things fashion. See, Scotland is beautiful. We have African fabrics, we have African tailors, and today my first guest is all about the fashion, all about the dresses. I got some beautiful stoned, see the stone that plenty for my clothes. I was just shining in the sun. Everybody that asked me. So I got that one from Nikki O Couture. Nikki O, good afternoon. Please introduce yourself to my guest and where you are based.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Nike Ayetoba. So I like to be called Nikki, Nikki Ayetoba, and I am the creative director of Nikki O Couture Limited, located in Glasgow, Scotland. We are an African fashion brand, constantly trying to merge both African designs and the modern styles together. One of our core strengths is the women line, which we, of course, we have the kids line and the men's line, but our strength lies in the women, trying to make our women bold, beautiful, elegant, and radiant as always. It's nice to be on the show today. Thank you so much. Thank you for celebrating Black businesses and happy Black History Month.
Thank you. Well, as it is right now, I am going to ask you a few questions. The first question is, I want to ask you, what actually inspired you to start this business? Especially when you think about it, they said there are not many black people in Scotland. Anyway, we are proving them wrong now. So there's black Scottish. Hey, plenty. So what inspired you to actually start the business?
Yeah, what actually inspired the Nikki O Couture brand is out of a deep desire to merge cultural heritage with modern elegance. So growing up, I saw how clothing could tell powerful stories of our culture, our background, our heritage, and it also told, stories of beauty and identity, where we come from. So I wanted to create a brand that doesn't just make clothes, but also celebrates African craftsmanship and empowers women to stand confidently in their own shoes. So for me, it is not just fashion, it is a movement rooted in pride, innovation, and also a legacy.
A culture that is rooted in innovation as well as in legacy. That is the African culture as well as the African fabric. Our fabric speaks volume, most especially. Whenever I step out, as soon as I get out like this, somebody is asking me, oh, your hat is beautiful. I keep telling them it's not hat, it's gele. And then we start the conversation how to pronounce gele, and it's always so good. Because me and my gele, Shebi, me and my gele.
Yeah, your gele, that's your signature.
So how has your experience as a black woman in Scotland helped you to, shape the business? How has being black helped you to shape this business?
So my experience as a black woman, as a brand owner of Nikki O Couture, I've experienced both the beauty and the challenges of navigating spaces where our voices are often overlooked. So I wanted a brand that stands for visibility, that stands for self-expression and power. Anywhere our women or any of our black people wearing an outfit, anywhere they stand, I want them to be able to express themselves and to be visible and to have a voice.
Thank you. During your interview with Eloho on Arise with Eloho, there was a discussion about what we can wear with jeans. And I put a comment in there that you can wear Ankara on top of jeans, and you can do, wear a plain top with an Ankara trousers. Can you affirm that kind of signature dressing? Just talk about it and how people can combine those fabrics in order to look more elegant.
Yes, in that regard, I would say one of our signature pieces, which is called the Nini shirt. I think you saw it that day. It's a combination of a shirt fabric and hadire. Hadire is from the southwest Nigerian background, from Abeokuta, which is called tie and dye in English. So we combine the hadire with a shirt fabric. That is a modern and modern designs, like you buying a shirt in the market and you now have it detailed with African print, which can be combined with a jean trouser. I've combined mine with a jean trouser, a jean skirt, a leather pants. It can be styled in multiple ways. So having our African shirt, our African kimonos, they can be styled with jeans or any kind of pants you can think of. So that is what we are talking about, blending the African heritage with the modern culture.
Nice. Blending the African heritage with the modern culture. It's really nice when you think about it. For you, your business, you're filling a gap already now that people are trying to get themselves interested in our colorful fabrics. Because, they're always like saying, oh, everywhere you appear very colorful because we wear colorful materials. I want to ask you, in the 3 years that you've been working and filling the gap with providing let me say the next 3 years, not in the 3 years, I should say in the next 3 years, how do you see the business growing, and how do you see the people who are going to show an interest in these our colorful fabrics?
Yes, thank you so much for that question, and I'm going to be more confident to answer it now that I've opened a physical store in the heart of Glasgow.
Congratulations! Nikki Okuto is opening Glasgow. You're going to tell us the address, everything you're going to share with us at the end of this.
Yes, I'm going to share everything with you today. So looking at when the store opened in Saturday and the inflow from different walks of different ethnic group have been here. We've had the people from Morocco, we've had Scottish people in the store, we've had people from Guinea-Bissau in the store, and they were so excited. What they said to me was that, oh, we see this on people, but we don't have a shop to buy. We like it. We love to wear some of this spring, or we don't have a store to buy. So opening Nikki Okuto now had solved that problem. That's a solution to a problem. I remember there was one day I went to work in a place, and the woman told me she liked the bling t-shirt. Yes, that bling t-shirt she got from me. Yeah. She liked the bling t-shirt, and all of a sudden, mood wasn't nice. And the daughter was asking, what happened to me? She said, I want the bling shirt. She's put it on. I want the shirt she has, and where can I get it? Can you give me the store address? So I told her, this is my brand, and I have to bring that to her, and she was happy. So that tells us that we are being accepted. We are just the one that feel like, oh, maybe because African print is too colorful, and no, it's not like that. So in 3 years' time, I am seeing African brands totally acceptable in Scotland.
Yes.
Now people can walk into the store, they can buy African print jackets, they can dress African because they like it as well. It's not everybody that likes dark colors, that like black and white. Some people like colors, but they don't get to see it in the store.
I wear all colors, not black.
Yeah, but they don't get to see. So a white lady walked into the store yesterday and she picked a jacket. I was thinking maybe it was too colorful for her, and I was trying to give her a one that was a little bit toned. And she said, no, this is the one I want. I want this one with sequins on it, with this colorful African fabric. I'm like, wow. That's like the first time I'm hearing someone say that. And she got it yesterday. She got it. So the future of African brand is very, very bright in Scotland. And I believe in the next 3 years, African brand is going to be more visible our culture, our stories, and we're going to have, international. We're going to have runways in this Scotland to show the beauty of African culture.
Amen. I look forward to that. I know it will be a dream come true. The heritage,
Yeah.
African heritage, and our fabrics, no matter what, when you think about it, the fabrics of Nigeria, the Ghanaian kente, the people from Kenya, from Botswana, from South Africa, when you see all that West African countries and you look at all the fabric from Senegal, you're thinking, when we all come together and we celebrate all these different colors and everything, it just, it comes alive. And especially
Yeah.
for me, it's like in the winter month. I remember someone telling me that even in winter, you are still colorful. You're like, she said to me, you're like the sun in winter. Because I was wearing this, my orange, Ankara. And she was like, you're just like the sun in winter. And it made me happy. And like you said, I like bling bling. Everybody that knows me know I like bling bling. I don't feel like. So the blinging of all the, I had all this stone and I'm shy. And they were just looking at me. But it gave me joy knowing that, this African fabric is getting people's attention. I'm happy for that. Now, one thing I want you to answer, because a lot of people are like, oh, we're talking about the earth, we're saving the earth, sustainability, blah, 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 renewable this. I want you to tell people, how do you choose the material? And are you kind to the people that you buy from? Because we know a lot of people are like, oh, you're going cheap, that's why you're buying African fabric. And I'm telling them it's not cheap when you think about it. The hard work that is put into producing it like that is very great. Now, I want you to just assure the people that what you are bringing is sustainable and you are doing your best to make sure that you are not abusing your suppliers.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. For us as a brand, for someone who has worked in fashion for over 14 years, I can say confidently that sustainability for us is not a trend.
Yeah.
It is a responsibility. And we partner with local artisans and ethical suppliers, ensuring that there's fair wages and there's respectful sourcing. So when it comes to our fabric, we choose fabric that are reusable, repurposable, and they are recyclable. And mostly cotton fabric are recyclable. Polyester, nylon materials, they are not good for the head because they don't decompose. So when I'm choosing fabric, I am choosing fabric that is repurposable and recyclable. And for artisans, we work with local artisans to continue to empower them, to continue to help them grow their own business, especially for the hand-dyed print. That's the Adire. I go to the local shops in Abeokuta, Ogun State. I do my dyeing and tying there myself with the artisans, and I know that that has also helped their business. If we go through, I don't want to divert so much, but if we go through down to, if I do a flashback to 12, 13 years ago, the local market was nothing, to write home about in terms of bringing it to the global stage. But now, if you go to Itoku market in Abeokuta, it's so beautiful, it's so well structured, and everything speaks about the richness of African culture. So, for me, sustainability is not a trend, it is a responsibility. And we are not just reducing our environmental footprint, we are also creating a cycle of empowerment through sustainability.
Oh, wow. Nikki Ho Couture, my darling sis, you have impressed me beyond me. The African fabric, sustainable one, recyclable one, and repurposable one. That's what she said. We have to respect the hard work of these artisans who are making all these fabrics that we can wear. When I think about it, some of the things that I owned from 4 or 5 years ago, and they're still standing, the Ankara, I've been asking myself, the Adire, and all those things. I wear them and I'm looking back and I'm just saying thank you, because this is cotton that lasts, and those are the fabrics that you use. I also saw you making some beautiful thing, your display the last time. You had ashoke mixed with other fabric. Hi, those were really nice trousers. Tell me a little bit about them, because me too, I told you I'm going to get one like that. Whether I like it or not, I would like to own one. of those ashoke mixed with other fabric. The creativity behind it is something that is, very lovely to think about. I've seen it as kimono for many years, but never as trousers. Now that I'm seeing it as trousers, it's kind of very, very enthralling. Can you tell us what sizes are available and where people can come and buy from? Can they order online? Can they order on your Instagram page? Or do you have to come to the shop physically?
Okay, for the ashoke trousers, we have a mixture of ashoke and Ankara, which is the African print, and we have a mixture of the hand-dyed, which is ashoke and Adire, that's the hand-dyed. We have different designs. We also mix ashoke and even the English fabric, that's the shirt fabric, also available. And people can buy on the website, on our website at www.nikio, which is N-I-A-I-E-O couture, COUPURE.com. We have them on the website, and you can also walk into our stores, come and feel our fabric, look at how it sits well on your skin and how it suits your skin and it suits your body size. So we create for all body size, irrespective of your body shape, your body size.
For the hourglass ladies like myself.
Yes, from the hourglass ladies.
Yes.
Yeah, for all the sizes, we have something for you. So our physical store is located at number 11, Tollcross Road, Parkhead, Glasgow. I'll say that again, number 11, Tollcross Road, Parkhead, Glasgow. You can walk in and you can shop online on our website. And if you are on Instagram, our Instagram account is Nikio, spelled as N-I-A-I-E-O couture, COUCURE UK. That's our Instagram handle. We are also on Facebook as Nikio Couture. So you can follow us on Instagram, and you can also get the link to the website from our link page. Thank you.
Lovely. So good of you. The shop address is 11 Tollcross Road in Parkhead, Glasgow. So you can visit the shop, 11 Tollcross Road, Parkhead, Glasgow. And she's giving you our Instagram handle as well as Facebook page as Nikio Couture, Nikieo Couture. And you can imagine the kind of fabrics, the kind of colors you're going to be, seeing in her display. You will just be asking yourself, should I be this one? She knows what I'm talking about, because I'm like, that, not that one. And all the bling bling, if you are like bling bling person, like everything must be shining, you will be impressed. Nikio, thank you, Stanike. I am very, very grateful to have you on this show this afternoon. I wish you many more success in your business, and I pray that desire to see fashion parade, the fashion, display of African fabrics in this Scotland on the runway where we have African Fashion Week in Scotland is going to become a reality. Well done, and thank you for bringing Africa to the forefront of fashion in Scotland. Nikio Couture is open. The shop is open now. Pay her a visit. And what's your telephone number if anybody wants to call ahead or they just want to phone you to ask for what you have? The website is www.nikiocouture.co.uk, or is it .com?
.com.
It's .co.uk.
It's .com, yeah, it's .com.
Nikiocouture.com. So
yes.
you can go to the website, pay a visit in the shop, and let's promote this African business, because we are
and we're still offering 10% discount. Opening discount is still fun.
Ooh, 10% opening discount. I'm gonna take my own 10% on that trouser. I didn't say it out loud. I was only just you and I that are talking about that shokoto, you know what I mean. So there's a 10% discount on everything in the shop. So pay her a visit, go to 11 Tollcross Road in Parkhead, Glasgow. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, Nige. I'm very grateful, and I will see you soon.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'll see you later. Thank you.
You wanted a Yoruba song. I found you one titled Ayo by Rotimi Keys.
Oh, I love that.
Here you go.
Thank you.
from me. No, no, no. Yeah. This peace you have given me, the world can never take it from me. No, no, no. Ayọ̀ tí wọlé ní òde, ire tí wọlé ní ògo. Ayọ̀ tí wọlé ní òde, ire tí wọlé ní ògo. Daily as I live, it's your blessing I see. Your goodness and mercy always follow me. This love you have given me, it's sweet past this melody. Love me by mouth, yes you are good. Your joy they make me they sing like oh. Ayọ̀ tí wọlé ní òde, ire tí wọlé ní ògo. Ayọ̀ tí wọlé ní òde, ire tí wọlé ní ògo. Gbogbo ire tí mo rí gbà, agbára mi kọ́. Gbogbo ìbùkún tí mo ní o, iṣẹ́ Olúwa ni. Gbogbo ire tí mo rí gbà, gbogbo ìbùkún tí mo ní o, gbogbo ayọ̀ tí mo ní sẹ́. Gbogbo ire tí mo ní o, gbogbo ire tí mo rí gbà, gbogbo ìbùkún tí mo ní o. Óyá, óyá. The voice of rejoicing is in the house of the righteous. So ìrètí wọlé ní òde. Ayọ̀ tí wọlé ní òde.
You are listening to Candid Moments with Fortunate on Heart Song Live Radio.
Welcome back to the show. If you've just joined us, this is Candid Moment with me, your girl, Fortunate Esther Abiola. I'm smiling differently right now. You know why? I got one of my guests sitting right here next to me. I got here with me Fiona Macaulay. She is the founder, a trailblazing woman that started Mwamba of Lee. Mwamba of Lee. Wow. How am I going to start? I don't even know. What should I say? Fifi.
Hello, Esther. Thank you for having me on the show. I've been listening to you for a while. It's been amazing listening to the lady who just left. Ike, I will be coming to Glasgow, Tolkos, to look for your outfits. I need some of that African stuff myself.
Yes, yes. Yes, guess what? This is my darling friend. She's a sister, she's a friend. Her name is Fiona Macaulay. She likes whiskey. Hi, but so I know. Not be like Jabba likes whiskey. She's not Nigerian, no, but she looks like me, and we look like sisters. We look like sisters. Look. I'm trying to get her to come to the camera. Move closer to me a little bit so they can see your face. Hey, see, this is my Fifi, Auntie Fee. Our ginger beer. Why? Winter is coming. We are queuing up again. She makes ginger beer. She's very good in all the businesses that she does. She takes care of her own, and she's a woman with a very beautiful heart. I'm glad that she's my friend, and I'm glad that she's here with me this afternoon. She's going to be talking to you about Mwamba, because these are the women who are doing trailblazing things. They're trying to change the narratives in order to support all the women to be able to stand well, sit well, and be well in Scotland. Fiona, now I'm going to keep quiet. Introduce yourself and tell us, who is Fiona Macaulay?
Well, Fiona Macaulay, nee Fiona Fraser, mother of two, lives in Bathgate, has, worked in the community for quite some time, runs a wonderful charity called Mwamba, where we engage with the black and ethnic minority women from our community. We are helping to raise, to enhance, to enable, to empower. I mean, as black women, we have all of these wonderful strengths, but sometimes when you move from one area to another, we're all migrants within this space. We are wanting to make better lives for ourselves, for our children. We don't want to survive, we want to thrive. We are smart, intelligent, awesome, able, wonderful, and it is these skills that we want to encourage and bring out of people. We encourage and we work. Nice.
Fiona started Mwamba how many years ago now? I think about
So 2016. So Mwamba has sort of been on the back burner before I came, but we kind of picked it up, rejuvenated it, changed it, and are making it what it is. And we're still continuing to grow and learn together and make it a wonderful and awesome space.
Thank you, thank you. Now, before I ask her any other question, I promised her that she's going to enjoy Wizkid. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I've got her Oju Elegba. I'm going to let her listen to that, because I just want her to get into the groove with me. I've told her she's going to sit with me for a while beyond the questions. I don't want to go into the question and then we finish the interview. I want us to enjoy this moment together. So play it for you. Oju Elegba by Wizkid.
It's legendary beats.
I be hustling to run, say, me and see, from old dogs to
welcome back to the show. If you've just joined us, this is Candid Moment with me, your girl, Fortunate Esther Abiola, and I have my guest sitting right next to me. Fiona Macaulay is her name. Today, she is here as a guest, as a woman, a founder, a black founder in Scotland. She started an organization called Moamba of Leith. This is a company that focuses on mental well-being of women and men and children, old and young. They have listening service, they have everything. But I'm going to let her tell you all about Moamba, what Moamba does, and how she grew the business.
So Moamba started, I think, as black women, we all get our hair done. It's our pride, it's our glory, it's our joy. I mean, we're sitting in the salon, we were just talking as we usually do. I mean, every woman uses their hairdresser as a counselor. We sit together, we talk about our stories, talk about our history, we talk about the issues. We're all far from home, so we collect in that space and we talk about stuff. And while we were sitting there, people would come in and pop in and say, I'm new to the area. Can you show me where I can go and get rice? Can you show me where I can get palm oil? Or can you show me where I can get housing? Or, they basically use it as a one-stop shop. And we thought, okay, we need a space where, number one, we can come together, be okay, and talk about our issues without fear or worry about offending somebody, upsetting somebody, being able to share our stories. We also needed direction. We also needed a space where we can talk about our hurts, our difficulties. Those little hard subjects that you keep, that we all know, but we don't talk about. Yeah. And also to be able to be lifted up. We are held by our cultures, by our faith, by the things that we do. And sometimes when things are not going right, we're not okay to share them, or we're scared. And so we created 3 projects. One, our listening and signposting service. Now, I have a background in psychotherapy. I have a background in mental health. I have a background in homelessness. All of these experiences, and so we need a space where somebody can talk to us on a level that we understand. Somebody who has an understanding of our cultural background, but it can also use it to navigate the statutory services of Scotland. Yeah. Then we have the Conversation Cafe, which is our space for learning. We invite professionals, people with lived experience. You would never know, like yourself, you'd never know what it feels like unless somebody has taken a walk in your shoes. And even when they have taken a walk in your shoes, that experience is only specific to you. It is not necessarily the same. But there needs to be a starting point in conversations. If you've taken a walk, then you know what it feels like.
Yes.
If somebody's going to be talking about, let's talk about finance, and you don't send money back home, you're not going to understand what I mean by finance. If we're going to talk about domestic violence, there's so many aspects to it. It is such a wide subject. It's also very sensitive.
Yeah, the taboos.
So, yes, they are. They're taboos. There's some things that we accept as the norm back home. There are some things that are absolutely normal. And how do you move from A to B when you've been in A for such a long time? How do you start to navigate that area, that space? So, and it's not just all about the painful, difficult bits. There are also the nice bits. We do reflexology. We do sip and paint. We have somebody who comes in and teaches us how to create perfumes, different oils. So it is a wonderful space where culture is celebrated, where pain is acknowledged, but where hope is also moved on. Then we have a community cooking. Now every woman cooks. We don't give a lot of kudos to our creativity in the kitchen, our expertise, our absolute celebration of the food that we eat. Good food is wellness. Every home that you go to, every party that you go to, you'd find men and women congregating in the kitchen. It is the heart and soul of a home. It is the heart and soul of most spaces. So that space is where women are celebrated. We share our knowledge of our cooking, our skills. Confidence is built. If you're in the kitchen making, I don't know, rice akara or pork or jollof rice, it's just something you know. But when it is made in such a way that people come in and pay you for that skill, it then becomes a business. It then becomes a skill. You then start to take pride in it, so that when your kids who you give everyday dinner suddenly realize you're selling it in a restaurant, they look at it differently.
Yeah. Oh, Moamba, the place where we talk about real life, real issues, give you hope, and at the end of the day, you can grow a business out of the skills that you didn't even know you have. Moamba is supporting mental well-being. Moamba cares for the mental well-being of everyone as long as they come and approach them for support. Now, my question is, how do you take care of your own mental well-being?
You know, that's the question, isn't it? It's all well and good to advise others, but do you practice what you preach?
Because it's not easy.
No, it is not. And when you are listening, and that's the thing about, you know, being an African woman myself, and having an understanding of some of the cultures and some of the underlying psychosocial issues that affect us as Black women, as African women, as women who live in the Western world, and you have to live dual cultures.
Yeah.
You know, at home you're an African woman. In the workplace, you are very much Westernized. And I think if you're sitting in a space where you're listening to stories that you can identify with, sometimes they're triggering. I think the main word is boundaries. Now, boundaries are there to protect us. They're not a bad thing, and you have to learn to be able to put them in place. For every woman who sits in front of me, it is all about that woman. It is about her story. Even if when she is telling you that story, you're thinking in your head, oh my God, she's telling me my story. It is exactly my story. But in that moment, in that time, park that thought to one side. And it is all about her and what she is saying. When you step away from that space, you then begin the process of working on yourself. And the first thing you do is to compartmentalize it. That is her story. It is similar to yours, but it is not your story. On your way home, you listen to music. I listen to audiobooks. I listen to audiobooks. I have faith, so I pray about my issues. But I also put practical things in. I come home, I put my bag down, I sit in front of the TV, I watch a K-drama, I pick up my phone, I speak to my friends. Yes!
We're the K-drama queen.
Yes.
Don't worry. BTS, we are easy coming for your show.
I watch a K-drama which is very similar to my lifestyle, and I laugh, but I know that that is kind of fiction.
That's it.
Okay? I pick up the phone, I speak to my friends, I laugh, I go to the kitchen, I eat. But at the same time, I do have people that I also talk to. We need to. It is important that you actually talk about your own issues. I am not ashamed, I am not embarrassed to say I'm struggling, this is what it is, or that I need help.
Fiona taught me a lesson a couple of years ago. Not a couple of years. Let me say many years ago. Because if I say a couple of years, people will think it's 2 years ago. A long time ago, she taught me the introduction, took me on introduction to boundaries. I wanted to go talking about stuff. She said, no, stop. We're not talking about that today. Today, we're doing something else. From that day, every time I go back and I use the same thing to approach life now, when I know that what I want to focus on now is the thing that will just give me happiness. I don't want the negative energy at that moment. I put the hands up and say, stop, no, not that one. This is what we want to do. This is what we want to focus on. Moamba is an organization that helps with your mental well-being. They listen to you and they signpost you to organizations that can help. The Conversation Cafe is, I like the food. Everybody that knows, this cuckoo not new to all my listeners. They know food. She makes this mean salad with a beautiful, beautiful kind of dressing. The salad that when you finish, you be saying, can I take some home? You hear me, salad. No be jollof rice, no, salad. She's the queen. But this afternoon, I just want her to tell you a little bit more about Moamba. But before we go, Moamba is an organization that wants to stand by you. So my next song, because she's here with me, is going to be different. We're not going to go question. We're going to listen to music. The music I've chosen for Moamba is Stand By You by Spyro, because they're an organization that want to stand with you, stand by you, stand to support you and hold your hands as you go on this journey. Moamba and the RSP project, which I am running, we're going to be working together on how to help people who are socially isolated and lonely to come out, have someone to speak to, and get the help that they need. I'm so happy that I'm working with wonderful women who are trailblazers and really full of strong, energy that they are using to make the changes to all the narratives that we are used to, because our culture said that's how it should be. But we are making the changes. So this is the next song for Mwamba. Not for Fiona. Fiona had Uju Elegba. For Mwamba is Stand By You by Spyro.
Candid Moments every Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m. with Fortunate on DAB across central Scotland, online at heartsonglive.co.uk, via the Android and Apple apps, as well as Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah, I need to change that. The program is now from 4 to 6. Anyway, welcome back to the show. If you've just joined us, you're listening to Candid Moment with me, your girl, Fortunate Esther Abiola, on Heartsong Live Radio, your voice of inspiration. Heartsong Live Radio, we're hosting this afternoon, Una Macaulay. She's talking to you about our work, our mental health work with Mwamba of Leith. I'm asking her questions so that you'll be able to know that Mwamba is there to stand by you, just like the song said. To stand by you, to stand with you. My next question for her is this. Now, I know you've told us how you take care of your own mental well-being when it comes to, Mwamba, and how you handle everything. I want to ask, how do you respond to people when they push back on what you do when it comes to mental health?
You have to expect that you live in a world with people with different opinions, different ideas, different thoughts, and some of them will not always align with what you want to do. Some people may push back and say, I don't believe in what you do. People are entitled to their beliefs. I mean, if that, this may not necessarily be the platform to discuss it, but if they weren't differing, if beliefs or ideas, there wouldn't be racism in the world that we live in. So you have to accept that there are people who don't believe in what you do. You focus on them. The thing is you never know what is going on for an individual or the reasons why they act the way they do. There is always a reason, whether they are aware of it or not. And sometimes those attitudes come up negatively. The thing with that again is, and again I will have to say, boundaries. I can acknowledge, Mwamba has been in a place where we have had people that we are trying to support and people that we are trying to work with who have come back and have been very negative. I always expect that. One of the things that you have to always try and do is be professional. You have to, no matter what. No matter how much you understand, you embrace, you like, you love, you are having, you can be friendly, but they're not your friends. You have to be professional. You can understand the culture, you can celebrate, you can be warm, you can be kind, but you do have to maintain that professional boundary. And when somebody pushes back against what it is, if you have the time and if you have the space to find out what those reasons are, you can always, the Bible says if you go into a space where they're not accepting you, you dust your feet off and you walk away. Now, you can still signpost that person. You can still support them in terms of whatever it is. If they want to engage with you, they will. If they don't, you signpost them elsewhere. At the end of the day, the thing is that you may very well come across that very same individual in a different space. You see? So it is with grace that we go forward. With grace that we go forward.
With grace you go forward.
Yes, with grace that you go forward.
It is with grace that you go forward. My last question, because right now, she's still staying with me. I've told her I'm trying to hook her. She'll probably sneak off before I can actually hook her down, but I'm trying to hook her to stay with me to the end of the program. So she'll be my companion. I just want to be company of company.
That's all good. That's all good.
I'm the comedian. I make everybody laugh.
It's raining outside. I'm happy to stay.
My last question for you is this. What advice would you give other black women who want to build a business on the backdrop of taboos like domestic violence and stuff like that?
I would always say, firstly, you won't know until you take a step. And you also have to believe in what it is that you want to do. Because there is a difficulty, because not everybody will share your vision. Not everybody will share your dream. Not everybody will have the same ideas. And people, it's not that they perhaps want to shut you down. They're just scared or they're just tentative. You have to believe in what you have to do. And you also have to write down what you're willing to go through to get to where you want to be.
Write down what you want to.
Yes, you have to. When I was studying, I wrote down all the things that I would be willing to go through just to get to where I want to. I would be willing to sacrifice. I would be willing to do this. I mean, I've done this thing. I worked with Moama for 2 years without a salary. You know, I told my family, I want to do this. We're going to be poor for the next 2 years, but I need you to back me up while I'm doing this, because I believed that, you know, as a community, we have to do things for ourselves.
Yes.
Now, if you're wanting to tackle taboo subjects, I mean, you know, the very first time we wanted to deal with the, you know, domestic violence, nobody turned up.
Yeah.
Nobody showed up. We had the food ready. We had you to deliver it. We had, you know, we had nobody turned up. But what happened? Afterwards, I got all these phone calls, women calling me to say I couldn't come because, and you have to make space for that. You have to come from a place of understanding and acceptance that it is not easy.
Yeah.
You know, as women, irrespective of race or background, we are taught to be ashamed of these things. You know, this is not something that we encourage. This is not something that we asked for. It was put upon us. It takes a lot of courage. Firstly, it is in your head. Then to even write it down on a paper, to acknowledge that this is what has happened, is embarrassing. And then once you've acknowledged it, you've got to get your head around, how did I find myself in this situation? You know, but it takes strength, enormous strength, to move from one section to the other. So when you want to start tackling this wonderful minefield, because it is a minefield, every woman's experience is different and similar at the same time. It is to say, listen, get it. When you are ready,
I'll be here.
I'll be here. You know, it is slowly, and sometimes they will push back against you. That experience isn't my experience. What you're talking about, mine is different. It's not the same. My life is a lot better than yours. And sometimes on paper it is. It is. You could be living in a gilded cage, have everything, and yet feel lonely, feel upset, feel sad. When you go out, you know, you dress your best dress. You've got your smile on, you've got your hair on, you've got your makeup on, you're looking good, and everything else. It doesn't mean you're a failure. Of course not. It doesn't mean, it just means that you want to live your best life. Thank you.
So living your best life, the best way to live your best life, embrace your own life.
Yes.
That's the real thing. The real deal is embracing who you are, your true self, your true story, accept it, and don't try to compare your story with somebody else's story. We can't even walk in the same shoes. Most of us, like I always say to people, when you see our feet, it looks alike, but somebody's size 6 and 6.5 and 7, and there's an 8, but our feet might look alike. The situation might look similar, they might look the same, but we want to treat you as an individual. We're not going to compare your story or let you feel as if your story is somebody else's story. Thank you, Fiona. Thank you. Muama of Lee, it's been a pleasure celebrating Black History Month to another trailblazing woman who is making changes to how the narratives are being told. We are no longer telling it as per 1960 or 1980 or 1990. We're not even telling it like 2020 or 2010. We're telling it as it is currently and how it should be. We're working hard to make sure that the women's mental well-being is not damaged because we want to hide behind cultural, religion, and educational, or what do I say? There are so many educational taboos that we hide behind as it is written, as it was written. I always say to people, no, you look at the moment right now that the person is living in, and we try to get them to be their best for that time. I have the next song before my next guest is going to come online. The song I'm playing right now is a very, very old song from Nigeria, and it's from one lady called Kefi. I'm sure a lot of people will be wondering, why did I bring this song up? I was thinking, and something I just heard, the song just played in my heart, and I'm like, I haven't heard this song in a long time. The title of this song is Brana Ma, and it is from Kefi. God rest her soul. Enjoy Brana Ma before my next guest comes online. that's Kefi singing Ranama. And you know one thing? This is an old song, and each time I listen now and I hear it, my heart goes back to how wonderful she was in our days. May God rest her soul. My next guest is here with me, and we are ready. Yeah. My darling Tenny Adekombi is here, representing the Second Glance, another black-led, female-founded organization out of the United Kingdom. Tenny Ola Adekombi, Miss Ten. Please welcome to the show and tell us all about yourself and the Second Glance.
My sister, thank you for having me again on the show. It's such a pleasure.
So tell us about the Second Glance.
Oh, what do you want to know? Where should I start?
Okay.
You know when you say that, you get me all excited.
Well, I would like to know what actually inspired you to start the Second Glance, and what is the Second Glance actually? Because these are the new people are listening to you right now. They don't even know what Second Glance means. So
the Second Glance is a community, a faith-based community for single parents. Careful not to say single mothers, because we are single fathers, single parents. Who just want to, who have been through a divorce or a partner divorce, or just decided to have a child on their own, and you're all alone, taking the journey. And we know how challenging motherhood or parenthood can be. You know how much more, going it alone. What actually inspired me, is my own story. My own story as a single woman. And that's why the Second Glance was born. It was born actually to give people, especially women of color, a safe space to be real. They're not perfect. It's about looking again. That's why it's called Second Glance. Beyond the stereotypes, and you know how, especially in the black community, how people can really stereotype you to a single woman, beyond the assumption and seeing the grace, the resilience, the beauty of our story. That's why the Second Glance was born. My personal experience has taught me that representation matters, compassion matters, and community matters. Sometimes they're in a community that don't accept it because of their status. Don't worry about it. We accept it, we love you, and we definitely want it. In the Second Glance, we want you to feel safe. We want you to feel valued. We want you. I'm so sorry, I didn't realize my ear was that dropped. We want you to feel valued, we want you to feel safe, and we want you to feel understood. Esther, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. You were a little bit low earlier, but we can hear you now.
Yeah, my ear is dropped.
Okay.
Apologies.
When you think about it, the things that single parents go through that makes them feel less valued and make you feel as if you are not being seen. Those are the reasons why that, I believe that the Second Glance is an organization that focuses on trying to get the woman to be seen and have a voice. But that's just me. For you, what's the vision you have behind the Second Glance? What was the vision?
The vision is for you to feel confident about yourself, about who you are, about your status. You don't need anyone to put you down. You don't need anyone to make you feel less of who you are because you're single. Being single could be a phase that you are passing through. It could also be, yes, I am single, so what? I mean, let's be honest, a lot of, black people were Christians. And I will say this, the church is a place where people feel judged the most, especially people like us. And I've never been one to conform to that stereotype, So I am single. Being married is not a criteria to enter heaven. So regardless of my status, you know, you can judge me, you can say what you want, but this is who I am. I'm embracing myself, every part of myself. You know, I want to raise children that are proud of where they come from. You know, all those stereotypes, we're breaking it. You know, there was a stereotype about, you know, black boys being raised by single moms, or, you know, some certain percentage go to prison. No, we're breaking that stereotype. Our children are not going to prison. They're going to palaces. They're going to high places. You know, they're taking their rightful place in big corporations. So yes, we're changing the narrative.
Women who are changing the narratives. We're changing the
Yes.
narratives that not children being raised by single parents don't necessarily have to be the one that will end up in prison. Neither would they be the one that will not be successful in life. Thank you. So, how does Second Glance support or make a difference in people's life? How do you do it?
How we support people is that we usually have conferences. Like recently, we had a recruitment seminar and sessions, and you know, helping people just update their CV. You know, if you're looking for work, you've been out of employment because you had a baby, or you even have children in school, but you know, your CV is old, you're struggling to, or you even want to change career. So we had a recruitment workshop and also talking about pension. What are your pension? What are your options in terms of pension? Especially again, if you're over 50, you know, what are your pension options? You have pension in place, you know, preparing for retirement. And just last week, we had another conference which is just about mortgages. So mortgages and also emptiness. And you know, when I talk about emptiness, it just basically means that you raise children, especially as a single parent. You raise your children now they've grown up, they either gone to uni or they've moved out. And in a way, it feels like, you know, as a speaker was speaking last week, she said that you don't feel like death in a way. They said all of a sudden the rooms are empty, you're all alone in the house. What do you do with your time? And I think a lot of people resonated with that. A lot of people were like, wow, you know, this really sticks to me. Like, yeah. You know, but you didn't have to reconnect, you know, reconnect. I mean, it was titled, and then emptiness, seeking God, something like that. I forgot what we titled it. But, you know, it really resonated with a lot of people in the 50s, you know, people whose kids are, you know, either grown to leave the house, buy their own property, or, you know, they're just in a temporary loan for that period of time. We also talked about mortgages. If you are over the age of 40, 45, 50, how can you get a mortgage? You know, people think, oh, I'm over 40 now, you know, single income, it's probably too late for me to get on the mortgage ladder. It's not so. Who said that? It's not too late. So get on the mortgage ladder, even at 50. You can still get on the mortgage ladder, and then I think they know that was really popular. You know, the lady that came to the mortgage broker, the financial advisor, you know, she really gave out, you know, nuggets. And, you know, there are a lot of people taking a number to follow up on that particular post. So I was really happy that we can help people in that way.
It's never too late even to have a mortgage. I know what it feels like being a single parent, single income. You get all this idea, all these things going around your head and saying it's not going to happen, how can that happen, this can be this, and blah, blah, blah. But the conference you had encouraged and taught women and, you know, single parents that nothing is impossible. So about the sound issue, we have some technical issues that we're trying to resolve. So if the sound is not so great, please pardon us. Anyway, but the reality is, at this particular moment in time, the Second Glance is making the changes, workshop, training, conferences, organizing sessions to encourage them to be able to be more and do more, as well as change narratives. Now I want to ask you the next question. You have had a few years of working with different women. Can you tell me what are some of the highlights of the success stories that you like to share with people so that they can know that there is help available? Because I want everyone to understand you don't have to journey life alone. I'm always saying it almost every week. There are people who are already making themselves available to go hand in hand with you, hold your hand, talk to you, support you, encourage you to be your best. Now, I want you to share your success story to the listeners so that they know that they don't have to do this alone.
So one of the biggest highlights for me has been feedback from parents who've attended a virtual conference or even a face-to-face conference. Many of them, I would say, sometimes I push, I encourage people to come. I post and your face, and but when they actually there, they start to settle like, wow, I didn't need to be encouraged to attend this. This is really, and sometimes when people call me, I'm really, even I am encouraged because we have different speakers and people bring different points of view, and you can ask any question. It is a space where you're not sure. If you're still carrying hurt, if you're carrying pain, nobody's going to judge you. We are at different stages of our journey, so you can ask any question. People ask about, I had a boyfriend, he broke my heart. People ask about sex. It's an open forum. You can ask any question. And people, a lot of people have texted me, called me, and they said, thank you. I left encouraged, I left inspired, I left seen, especially what you're doing. You are in a black community church, and you're not feeling like, oh, I can't speak because I'm not married or because I'm divorced. I was feeling like that before. I was feeling like in my church, I couldn't really speak, I couldn't really participate, I couldn't really be in any team because I'm divorced. But when I left the conference, it made me realize that I can do anything I want. If anybody has a problem with it, that's their problem. So that when I see such feedback, I am really, really encouraged. I'm really encouraged that yes, this is the purpose, and we are making impact.
I asked my guest earlier a question. I asked how she deals with her own mental well-being when you are dealing with issues like this. So I will ask you, what challenges have you faced on this journey? How did you overcome them? And how do you also deal with your own mental well-being, especially when you have to deal with other people's issues at the same time?
So at the end of the day, Esther, the way I see it is that for me as a person, I've always been that kind of person where I can switch off. So one step at a time. To keep it simple, keep it short. Life is never meant to be perfect. So you have a conversation with someone, it could be down. By the end of that conversation, the person could phone you and they're feeling really down. By the end of the conversation, when you share your own story, you could be laughing. Both of you could be laughing to the point where, there are tears coming out. The person don't live the way that they are called you. They live and follow. For you as a person who is on the other side of the phone, other end of the phone, encouraging others, what do you take out of it? You learn from other people's stories and you think, wow, I thought mine was bad. Thank God I was able to encourage that person, or you just feel, sometimes your heart goes out to them. That's why the community, and it's all grounded in grace. It's the grace of God that gives you the ability to stand and to even be able to speak to other people, to encourage other people. I never take myself too serious. So I think that's one thing for me. I never take myself too serious. Life is too short. I live my life as I please. If you're not happy, that's your problem. Yeah.
I like the idea of not taking yourself too seriously.
I don't take myself too serious.
I think I became a comedian to myself a few years ago.
Exactly. You just got to live your life and have fun while you're doing it.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Play music, dance alone in the house, play music, dance, just be crazy.
And like Fiona said, she and I, we love K-drama. I think I introduced you to K-drama too. So
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
the reality,
I watch movies. I'm literally laughing to myself, like, so funny. Sometimes I even get popcorn, like, I mean, in cinema. Yes, have fun.
it helps you to project, I always say to people when they say, why are you listening to K-drama? I'm like, because I always try to say, if it's happening in every other races, every color, every religion, I watched a series that was from Colombia, and I kept calling everybody that they were acting like Nigerians. And someone said to me,
I'm telling you, there are some common things to, regardless of your age, your gender.
yes,
Some things are just common.
they come on to all.
Some things are just common.
They
Yeah.
come on to all, come on to religion, come on to
Common
race,
to all.
come to
Yeah.
personality.
Regardless of race. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Now, how can people connect with the second glance so that they can get the support that they need, and also how can they get themselves involved in any upcoming events that you have?
We love for people to join our community. We live for that.
Yes.
Follow us on our social media, share our events, volunteer. So in December we have a program for Christmas. This is season of joy or loneliness, and we just really want people to, what's Christmas like for you? Esther, what's Christmas like for you as a single parent? Are you alone with your children? Do you get invited to family outings? You go to your friends? Is it a season of joy? Is it a season where you reflect and you think, just going to be my children and I again in the house? I remember that in the early days, I used to take my children to Europe because I don't want us to be alone in our house at Christmas period. So if you want to join, if you want to support, if you want to sponsor, you can reach out to social media pages or Instagram, Facebook, and our website, mysecondglance.org. And then obviously Instagram is my_second_glance.
See, I'm smiling. A lot of people can see me smiling if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. I'm smiling because my next guest is here with me, and I'm speaking to my guest. I'm about to round up with my guest, Denny Adekombi from Second Glance. The Second Glance is going to be coming to Scotland. She's coming. We're launching the Second Glance so that single parents in Scotland can also benefit from the services that is being provided for people in England. I'm grateful for that opportunity. My collaboration with you, I am so appreciative of that. But before I go, I want to thank you for always being true, always being yourself. You've been on this show. This is your second time, and I thank you for answering me when I called you again. God bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you for having me.
You asked me to play for you Westlife. You raised me.
Where is my song? That reminds me.
That is your song, Westlife. You raised me.
Okay.
It's coming for you
Yes.
right now.
That song is the story of my life. You raised me up so I can stand on mountains.
So for Denny Adekombi, the Second Glance founder, trailblazing woman, changing the narratives for single parents and making sure that we are not just tagged single parents with children that are not a success, but mothers and fathers of successful children. You raised me up by Westlife, just for you. Thank you for joining me. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you. You too.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden me, and I am still and wait here in the silence until you come. raise me up to more than I can be.
You are listening to Candid Moments with Fortunate on Heart Song Live Radio.
Welcome back to the show, and you would not believe it, but you will believe it. On this show, I have Eda with me right now. This is Candid Moment with Fortunate. You know how it is. We talk candidly about issues of life. We've looked at issues that pertains to business. Today, we've looked at the issues that pertain to mental well-being, and we've looked at single parenting. Next topic is for the ladies. My ladies, my sisters, you know I am. My sisters, you know how it is. My sister, you know easy. We're talking about menopause. Eda Yoni, she's the menopause champion that I know. She's a woman who is running an organization looking at the mental well-being of women who are going through menopause. The physical well-being, the mental well-being. This is Heart Song Live Radio, your voice of inspiration. We want to inspire you this afternoon to look at menopause in a way that you've never ever looked at it before. So I'm going to ask Eda to introduce herself. Eda.
Hi, Fortunate. It's so good to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me to talk about my favorite subject, menopause, and how it empowers us, how it makes us be better women and think about ourselves as we serve everybody else throughout our lives. So at this point, it's time for us.
We get to a place where we forget who we are. And menopause makes us remember we are part of the story. That's what I was telling people. I said menopause kind of said, girl, come back to the beginning. You're part of this story. You're going too far. I have questions for Eda, but before I'm going, Eda has introduced herself. She asked me to play a song for her. The title of the song is If You Believe. If you believe, you can do so many, many things. But before I ask that question, before I even play this song, I want Eda to just tell us a little bit about our own menopause story that made her to become menopause champion.
Oh my goodness. Fortunate. My menopause story, the big M as I want to call it, it was horrid. Horrid. And so knowing what I know now, I realized my menopause journey started when I was 33. And I only finally clicked to do with menopause when I was 52. So that's a long journey of suffering, of having so many of the symptoms, of going to the doctors, and the doctors never mentioned the word menopause. Never. In all that time, I had other things that they looked at. I was told I had IBS, my skin, I was told I might have allergies, so many things. But I think the worst for me was my mind. When I was starting to, my memory was going, I was struggling with just forgetting things. And why that's important to me is because my mom was diagnosed with early dementia, which you normally get when you're around 40. So when I started being forgetful, I was like, am I getting this? And I went to the doctors and I told them that, and they were like, oh no, you see, I don't know, you're young for that. But because I kept forgetting, it was quite big. And then when I finally realized actually it's menopause, that's where this whole thing started from. I just tried to let another woman go through what I told her.
My daughter is watching. She will tell you. I'll be asking her, please, where's my glasses? Where is my glasses? She's looking at me and thinking, Mommy, are you sure you're okay? I remember a conversation we had about 2 weeks ago. She said, I hope you're not suffering from early form of dementia because what you are looking for is right there. I'm thinking, no. Where did she just kept saying to me, okay, just sit down. 1 minute, I'll just use my hand. And I was like, okay, oh, that's where I left it. So now every time I want to hide something, see the era of me hiding stuff from my children. Oh, now if I do that, I'm hiding stuff from myself.
Yes.
I realized I can't even hide anything. So I was telling her we have an engineer visit from Sky coming up next week, and they sent something that I have to give to the engineer. And knowing mean that in the next 1 week, you can ask me and I'm probably telling you I didn't get anything. I just said, do me a favor, I'll put it there. If the engineer comes and I start going up, down, left, right, and center, just say that's where it is. I can relate with the forgetfulness because sometimes I'm just like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Come back to me. Come back later. But menopause is the big issue that we're going to be looking at today. I have my darling friend, Nkiru. Remember when I said, let us not forget ourselves. I have someone who is speaking about menopause for us this afternoon. NK, just for you, just for every woman who is experiencing menopause in a way where you're thinking, where is my brain? Ella is going to answer some questions for us. And here is If You Believe, a song that she has chosen by Strive to Be. If You Believe.
If you believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, and walk across the water, you feel defeated, falling on your knees and looking up for some hope tonight. You try to stand up, but you throw your hands up like you no longer have the strength to fight. 'Cause you've seen too many sunsets, too many days ending in the darkest night. But on your own, you'll never know, you'll never know. If you believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water, believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water. If you believe, they say that all you need is faith, but it's almost like you lost your way. Took a few wrong turns, took a few breaks, falling behind now looking for grace. 'Cause you need someone to lift you up, yeah, make right all the things you've done. 'Cause on your own you'll never know, you'll never know. If you believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water, believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water. If you believe, if you believe, you can do anything, you can do anything, you can do anything if you believe. If you believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water, believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water. If you believe.
On air, on DAB, online, on your smart speaker, on your phone. This is Heart Song Live.
This is Heart Song Live Radio, your voice of inspiration, and you're welcome back to the show. I'm your girl, Fortunate Esther Abiola, and I have my menopause champion, Eda Inyoni, with me this afternoon. Another African woman, a trailblazing woman who is anchoring wonderful things for women to be able to live well in Scotland. Eda, what are you doing to make menopause a normal topic at work and as well as at home?
So, you know, women, as women, we pretend and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
We pretend at work, especially at work, because we don't want to be seen as coming up. And rainfall is one of those things that we're exposed to. And I'm just going to tell you a story about rainfall and working, what I'm doing, you know, to try and help with that. So when I was asked by one of my managers to put my name forward for a job that was coming up. And basically it was between me and somebody else. But the other person wasn't asked. They asked me to put my name forward. This is fine, I'm going to go sure everybody knows, okay? So it's important to have workplaces that recognize that women are going through this. It's important to have homes that recognize that women are going through this and how that affects you on a day-to-day. My forgetfulness, those words does not make me any lesser.
Yes.
I'm still me. I can still do the job. I may have to change the way I do the job. And for instance, I now use notes everywhere I go.
Oh yes, taking notes.
Yeah, I take
Taking
notes because if I don't have the notes, I'm going to forget. But because I've always relied on my memory before, I was, good remembering stuff. So I've come up with things that help women, so for resources, free resources that I share with women on how they can work. How can they get over some of the hurdles that they face within the workplace? How to ask for the adjustments that they need within the workplace because it's important, and how not to overshare or share as much as you want to, and what rights you have as a woman to be in that, in that environment and to be safe and still be able to produce. Yeah.
When it comes to forgetfulness, bring forth a new lot of women. Like I always say to myself, as long as I can remember my name, that's fine.
Yeah, that helps.
Now, what advice would you give to other women who are going to build, want to build a business, but menopause is really making them feel as if, I don't think this is the right time.
Go for it. Go for it. I mean, there's techniques, you find a way that will work. I mean, we're not the first generation going through menopause. We may be experiencing it a little bit differently, but I would say if it's something that you want to do, go for it. This is the time where you're more confident in yourself. You've got a lot of experience, whether it's in the home, whether it's through work, whether it's through social gatherings, and you might not even know how much experience you have as a woman. I mean, as a woman, yeah, we're talking about women here. Within the years that you've had have built you up to where you are now. So find people who cheer you on. Find women who will come along with you. Today I heard Trevor Noah, I was listening to him and he was talking about how we get intimidated when we hear people talking, I made it, I did this, I built this business, or I built this brand, and I'm making so much money, and yet you don't do it by yourself. They don't mention the fact that you have somebody, and he was talking about how he had his friend, and they would go and do the show, and they would come back, and every night they would come back after the show together, go through what did we do right, what are we going to change, and all throughout his career he's had this person and other people, but he says people don't talk about that. So I would say go and find your go and find your cheerleaders.
Everyone needed cheerleaders. Everybody needs a cheerleader. It took me a long time to recognize the importance of having somebody cheering me on. I'm grateful to those people who have been standing in the corner and saying, go for it, go be it. It takes a lot to overcome the fear of what it's like anything. But when you think about it, I ask all my guests one question. You're dealing with issues that relate to mental well-being and mental wellness. Menopause is another one of the mental well-being issues that the world knows now. How do you when it comes to handling how do you do it?
Yeah, as you can imagine, when you talk to women, their stories are harrowing, some of them, and you don't want to take it home. But by nature, I am like that. That's why I never did nursing because I wouldn't have been able to cope. But because you have to find a way to release that. So personally, I like cooking. So I don't I don't rush.
So do I.
When I'm feeling particularly stressed, I'll go to the gym and just maybe cycle or walk on the treadmill, something just to get that, my heart to just calm down a little bit. I also love the sauna. So I go in and sit there quietly, just meditate, pray. I'm a Christian woman, so I pray. So my walks especially, I like them in the morning because that's how I start my day. And that makes me more alert. And whatever it is that's stressing me, I let it go. Yeah, that's how and also socializing, right? Being with that person, I don't have to explain myself to.
Thank you. We all need people like that in our life. People you can just pick up the phone, start talking. They don't need to know the reason why you want to talk about certain issues. I always say to myself, it And boundary, as mentioned by Fiona earlier, is also very important. Once you put the boundary, you have to protect yourself. The things you do for your own mental well-being, they're very important. You like to walk, I like to walk, and I like to write. When I am very stressed and I feel I can't express myself and I don't think, I start writing. And before you know it, I've written so much. I'm like, that's it. You wanted to bring out something. It's actually inspiring for me. So my creativity flows, especially when I'm programmed. So I handle my mental well-being by making sure that I don't get bored. I do not overlook myself.
That's true.
Now, I know that you're tackling an issue that it used to be like a taboo to talk about menopause. It was always like, what's with menopause? The other day I was talking to a guy and he said, I also have andropause. And I was laughing.
Well, you do have.
He said, I know, I understand you have andropause as well. But when he was mentioning his andropause, I'm like, please go sit down. You know what it's like? Being able to, like today, I was telling Elle when I came in, I said, everyone on the bus was looking at me like, what is wrong with this girl? Why is she wearing this? And she doesn't have the jacket on. And I'm thinking, I came in and she said, you're sweating, I'm sweating. I'm like, I'm sweating because right now my body is like very hot and it doesn't recognize the fact that it's very cold outside. I'm just hot for myself. But when we deal with stuff like that, the taboos behind it, how has your own journey shaped you to be able to design a support system that is helping other people?
So I'm just going to go back a little and say one of the reasons why I started talking about menopause. When I started first mentioning it, people were like, "What?"
Like the
And
pushback?
Yes, I got a lot of pushback from people I didn't expect. And then but I was angry. I was angry that why had nobody told me about all the symptoms of menopause. And I consider myself very intelligent. So not having come across anything to do with menopause in any part of my life, except for the word menopause. So I didn't know anything about perimenopause, I didn't know anything about postmenopause. I just knew your period stopped. But I thought, why did no one tell me? Why didn't I find out? But then how do I find out something I don't know? So I think that's where my initial talks about menopause started. But I was ranting. I was ranting about why the symptom that I'd had and how it was affecting me. And then one of the so nobody ever directly came to say anything because I was ranting mostly on social media. No one ever came directly to say anything to me. But what I realized is that I would get a DM, someone would message me and say, oh, did that happen to you? Oh, so it's not just me then. And I thought, okay, I'll keep talking about it, still ranting. And then I think what really changed it was I started getting a lot of DMs from men. Oh gosh, I don't want to be befriending anybody. Until one of my colleagues at work said to me, Julian, can I say a couple of words? And I was like, yeah. And he said to me, I was going through what you're going through.
Oh.
I was like, oh, really? What makes you say that? He goes, oh, the things that you describe just occurred to a T. And I don't know how to support you. Okay. So I said, well, what have you been doing? And he goes, nothing, but can I share your page book? And I was like, of course you can. And then I went back to him and I said, how's it going? And she goes, well, it was difficult for me to actually say to her. So I just put it on while just put it on while she was there, and I put the volume up, and then she said, oh, what are you listening to? And that started the conversation with them. And then I had another man who also came in and said, I recognize everything you say. My wife knows she's going through it, but our relationship is breaking down because I don't know how to support her. And I thought, there's so many people crying out, but not crying out loud. Why is it silent? And I bet you watched it because men going through this.
No, the noise will be loud. The noise will be very, very loud.
Yeah.
And I think what you and Adelphi Connect are doing in trying to bring men to the table to talk about menopause is the best way forward. Because we've got to a place now where the reality of tackling this as a conversation between couples is very important.
Yes.
Many people end the relationship at 40 years together, 50 years together, all because menopause came in and nobody seems to be able to have an understanding of how to deal with it. But we had a guest speaker at one of the Adelphi event, and when he described his own experience and how he tackled it, made me to realize it's important now for us to bring men to the table. What and when is your next event going to be?
That's a secret.
Oh,
but I'll let you
the
know
dates,
as
the
soon-
dates are not yet
Yes,
announced.
the dates are not yet, but they
But will you be a
definitely
conversation for the men as well?
Yes, and not just men. And I can speak because I'm speaking from as a single parent. So I have kids, and my children sort of runs off my menopause. So I think it's not just about the men; it's about the family as a whole. Because if your husband understands, that's fine. But you still have children. You still have children that are feeling it. And for me, what really hit home is I was so horrible to my children, and I didn't. Well, I kind of knew it, but I was like, I didn't care. I was in the I don't care club. I really didn't care much. I didn't care about trying to make things right. I just needed that time to myself, and I was so like, just leave me alone. I just need this time because there's so many things that was irritating me. And then I have a very good friend who, us women will do something, we'll chat, on the phone or something.
Yes, I did that.
And I was shouting at my daughter. My daughter's really, she's a very amicable girl. She's that child if you had one you have 10. She's that good. And I was shouting at her. And my friend said, why do you keep shouting at her? I said, she did this one in the sink. She didn't do this, but the reaction was extreme for the action that needed to be rectified. And, so she said it a few times. And it sounded like, I thought, maybe there's a point. Because she kept saying it to me, because we're friends. Even if I was angry with her, she knew that at some point something was going to sink in. And then I decided that actually I'm going to make an effort because I want to be my children's safe space.
Yes.
They must come to me and know that this is home, this is safe. How can they do that if I'm forever so angry with them and not wanting to hold them? And then so I started making an effort. And then every time I walked into the room, I noticed she would walk out. It's the same thing with my son. I walked in the room. Even if she was making something in the kitchen, the minute I walked in, she walked in. I asked her what's going on. So I said to her, why did you walk out when I walked in? And she said to me, Mom, I can't do anything right.
Oh.
I'm always doing everything I do is wrong. And I don't know how to make it happen. And it works. I was so, it touched me. But I remember talking about it with in a group of women. And then another lady came later on. She said, may I never be the reason why my children are there. Ooh. And I thought, wow. If that doesn't hit home for us to fix our relationships, for our children, our partners, so many women are instigating divorce at this time because they don't understand what's going on. They've got no word for it. Their partners don't understand, and instead of coming together and support each other, they're coming apart. So when we never be the reason why people around us here.
May we not be irresponsible. May we not be the one responsible for putting another person in therapy. That's a good prayer. Today has been an excellent and awesome time. Please help me to appreciate my guest, Edda Inyone. I'm thankful for Fiona Macaulay, for Tenia Dekobi, and Adenike Oyitoba. I am so grateful for each and every one of you as you have come to celebrate Black History Month with me today. It's been a pleasure hosting this evening. And the talk about menopause, I hope it has helped one or two women, even if it's not 10. I'm very grateful to you for being honest about yourself. The vulnerability you have shown this evening is not what everybody knows. Thank you. You came to the party. You came to the party of the woman who is not vulnerable about our story anymore. I think it's about time. When we tell the truth, we're helping other people to recover. We're helping other people to heal. And I'm grateful for Edda sharing her own personal experience. I know, I don't shout, I don't scream, but I shut down. I'm not, when it comes to that, I just shut down. I just want to be in my room. I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to be anything. I just don't want it. But I know, I didn't know what it was that was making me feel I have to shut down. I just don't want to sit in the living room with everybody. I don't want to talk to anyone. But going through life alone is not even important. It's not necessary. You can go through life with somebody else. There are organizations that are willing and able to help you. And then tell us about the name of your organization and how people can contact you.
So I have a website called Regain Your Vitality. It's www.regain-your-vitality. I know it's such a mouthful, but I'm sure I can give it to you to look at.
Okay.
I also share on LinkedIn and I have a support group on Facebook and of course. And I have free resources. If you go on the website, there's free resources, checklists, things you can use to talk about with your daughter, that leads you into having those conversations. And the mini challenge if you want to
I'll share all this information on my Facebook page as well as on the YouTube as a comment. If you need more information, just go to the comment section and then you'll be able to see all this information. I am thankful for each and every one of my guests for today. I'll be signing out with a song from Kenneth, Kent, and the Apex Choir. I'm guessing everybody knows the song I'm about to play. The song I'm playing next is titled Ebenezer, because this is how far God has helped me today. I am grateful for every single one of my guests, and thank you for joining us. Thank you to all the new viewers, the new listeners. I appreciate you. I'll be back, and I'll see you next week. I know that you're looking forward to it because we'll be celebrating more women, trailblazing women who are founders in Scotland as well as in the UK. God bless you. Have a very good evening. And this is me signing out with Kent and the Apex Choir, Ebenezer.